Hello, third grade. We are going to continue our focus today on words with the ch, k, and qu sound. Okay, so before we jump into taking a look at those a little deeper, I want us to take a look at some larger vocabulary words. We know that in third grade, we're going to encounter a lot of larger vocabulary words that we may be unfamiliar with. And a strategy that is always very helpful with these unknown words is being able to break them into smaller chunks. Now, the words that you're going to see here in just a second all have either that j, k, or qu sound. So I want you to be on the lookout for those as well. So first we have the word gentle, gentle. Do you hear that G making the ch sound like a J? So gentle. Thinking about this word, how could we divide that into two smaller chunks to make that easier to break apart if we didn't know it? Okay. Exactly. I see this very first chunk, and I'm going to underline it. We have gent, gent. Okay, and then if I think about that last chunk, gentle, I can put those together. So gent, gentle. Let's try the next one. Next, we have the word passage. Do you hear that j sound with that G? Passage. So looking at this word, I see two double consonants. And I know from my work in second grade last year that anytime that you have a double consonant, that is a place that a syllable usually divides. So let's try that in this word. So we have pass, passage. So do you see how breaking that into two smaller pieces can help you solve this word? I want you to try this on your own with our next word. Begin sounding that out on your own and breaking that apart into two smaller pieces. Okay, go ahead and share with me. How did you break apart this word? Okay, I agree with you. The first thing that I thought of was G-A-D, and I knew that said gad, gad. And I know that we've been working with the G making the j sound. So gadget did not make sense as I sounded this out. So then I put into place my j sound, that soft G sound, and I had gadget. Uh-oh. So when you think about the word gadget, that definitely makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay, do you see how breaking that apart helped us not only to use our sounds that we're working with this week, but helped us to solve that unknown word? Let's try this next one. So go ahead and break that apart on your own and think about the sounds that we're working with this week. Okay, share with me, how did you divide this word? I agree with you. So we first see C-O-N for con, and then we have F-U-S-C. I see that C is making our k sound. So then we have fuse, confuse. So just breaking that into two smaller chunks really helps me to figure out the word. The last word we have today starts with a Q-U. I know that says qu, like a KW sound. So take a look. What word do you see here that you know? And how will that help you to break apart and solve this unknown word? Exactly. We have the word quick. I'm going to underline that. And then I know L-Y says ly. So I have quickly. Okay, so next I want us to take a look just really quick at the sort that we've had this week. I just want us to remember these sounds before we move on to our next task. So G-E we know says j, like in bandage, bandage. Next, we have DGE, like in the word knowledge, j. Do you hear that knowledge? It makes the same sound almost as that GE. And then we have concert. Here, that C at the beginning makes that k, k sound, but in the middle, that C is making the s, s. Okay, so notice that placement, how sometimes that changes the sound in that letter. But here we're looking at the k sound that C can make at the beginning. And then we have the qu sound. Remember that QU makes the KW sound, like in the word qualify. Qualify. Okay, for our last thing today, I want us to take a look at the sentence. Rachel ran a fast enough time in the race to qualify for the state meet. What if I didn't know this word, qualify? What if I didn't know that word? What could I do? I want you to think for just a second. How could I solve that unknown word? Okay. Exactly. The first thing that I might do is think about this spelling pattern that I've been working with this week. This QU that says qu. And then I would continue breaking apart the rest of the word. So qua, I know QUA says qua. And then I have li, quali. And then I'm left with that FY, fi, qualify. Okay, so remember that anytime that you come to an unknown word this week or any time in your future, that it's always very helpful to break it apart into those smaller chunks. And that's one reason that we're going through these sounds with word work, is so we can learn what these smaller chunks say and the sounds that they make, so it's easier for us to decode. Okay, guys, happy decoding today and happy working with the sound ch, k, and qu.